Awesome.
Okay, I think we're good. All right. If you guys can't hear me or anything weird happens, just send me a message. Oh, looks like we got one more person coming in. Oh, Barbara came in.
Barbara!
Okay, guys, so I think everyone's good. I don't think there's any loud background, but if it is, then mute yourself. Okay, so we're just going to go over a couple different things. I'm going to start with the party pad. Just quickly kind of go over basics. Some of you guys have already heard this before. Some of you it's newer. So we'll just kind of run through it really quick. And then Jeannie's going to go over steps to success. And then we'll go from there with Tracy. And then I'll end it. And then we'll do like a little bit of question and answer at the end for you guys. So I have the very outdated, it's not very outdated, but it's kind of outdated. I need to order my party pad. So if anytime you guys are meeting with people, use the party pad. I know it's easy to not use it and just kind of go by, just kind of figure it out as you go. But I promise you that you'll have more of a successful meeting if you use your party pad to keep you on track. It's something visual that they can look at, and they'll be able to practice it better. Is that you, Jeannie? Anyway, keep talking. Somebody, if you can mute it, that would be awesome. I don't know who that is. Okay, sorry. If anything, I might just mute everyone, if it starts to get loud. I think we're good now. Sorry, not to be mean. It's just, it gets loud on the recording. So, okay, anyway, so the party pad. Stick with that. It'll keep you on track. And then obviously when you are talking with potential, even distributors, it's nice for them to see how simple it is and that they could sign up and turn around and use this party pad to talk to someone else. Even if they just got started and they know nothing about the business, they can use the party pad. So even people that are interested in just the products, I will pull these out and I'll talk to them about the products, and then I always talk about the business no matter what. So here's the party pad. There is notes in your eSuite. If you haven't found them already, print them out, put them on the back of your party pad. I don't have my one that I usually use right here, so it's empty, but I will print those out, tape it on there, glue it on there, whatever you need to do until you feel comfortable, and then you'll eventually do enough presentations that you can do it by heart and you really don't have to read the notes anymore, but it's a good way to kind of keep you on track, especially when you are first starting out. So I will kind of usually, what I'll do is I'll wrap people right beforehand, see how they're feeling, ask them, how does it feel? Does it smell good? Is it tingly? Just kind of ask them questions. That is one of the things I really like to do when I am doing the party pad, is to ask a lot of questions, or anytime I'm having a conversation with them, because I want to get to know them better throughout the presentation, so that when I am talking to them about the products, I know what to hit on. Same with the business. If they are wanting to do the business, I like to ask a few questions so I know what are things that I really need to focus on that's going to speak to them. So ask questions, make it about them. So I'll go tell them what the wrap's doing. It's tightening, toning, and firming. And they'll leave it on for at least 45 minutes. This is just a treat. A full treatment is 4 wraps. So I'll let them know about that. And you can wrap every 72 hours. You can wrap from your neck down to your toes. And then I'll let them know about the facial that we have. Sorry, I keep moving the video. I'll tell them about the facials. That same thing like the wrap, just a little bit different and a little bit different formula. So they can't obviously use the body wraps to use on their face. They have to use the facials. So a lot of times people forget to mention the facials, even though there's like a cute little picture right here. And I am guilty of that too, of forgetting to mention the facials. But make sure you take time to talk about the facials, because especially if you're at a party and a group setting, there's some people that may not care about the body wraps, but they're going to love the facials. So that's what's going to pique their interest. So make sure you take a second to talk about the facials. So I'll kind of go through that, talk about the wraps, and then flip to the next one, the next page. So this is what it does. It helps, obviously, like I said, tighten, tones, and firms, helps with cellulite, stretch marks, any imperfections of the body. It's great for when you're losing weight, help tighten up that skin, or if you just need some motivation to work out and eat healthier, the wrap is great too. Even people that are super fit that don't need to lose any inches will use a wrap because it helps show off their abs. For example, my sister-in-law, She is about to do a bodybuilding competition. She probably has, I don't know, 0 fat on her, but she still wraps, and it helps make her abs pop. It's a good just to detox her body anyway. So she still uses the wraps even though she's working out like crazy and she's, eating healthy. She's still getting results with the wraps. It's still part of her process of getting to her competition weight or whatever you call it. I'm not in competition, but anyway, so it's still getting her ready for competition here in a couple weeks. So it doesn't matter who you are, what age, weight, does not matter. People still love this product. If you have skin, you'll use it. So that's a little bit about the wraps. It's first to market product. We're the only ones that carry it. Obviously, I'm going over this really quickly, but this is a first to market product. We're the only ones that have it. You can't go to Walmart, Target, and find something like this. You can only go through an It Works distributor. You can't even go to the website and order it. It actually makes you go and find a distributor to order from, which is awesome that the company does that when they could easily just take the orders and for themselves, they pass them out and make sure that distributors are actually getting these orders. So I do appreciate that, especially if you are looking at doing the business. For people that are looking to do the business, that shows a lot to our company and just the kind of leadership that we have, because a lot of other companies do not do that. The company will gladly take people's orders and not pass them out to distributors. So that's just a little bit about showing the quality of our leadership. So, okay, so then the next thing, we'll talk about loyal customer. So it just depends on each person, each party. This is why I like to ask questions, kind of see where people are at, what they're looking to do, so that I can tell them about the loyal customer program, but also share a few of the products that I know that they're interested in. So if I know someone mentioned about energy, another person mentioned about ThermoFit, then I'll take a few minutes, tell them about the ThermoFit, tell them about the greens, and that's kind of where you just kind of have to decide what you need to talk about. Do not go through the whole catalog. Don't pull out the catalog and talk about every single product that we possibly have. Talk about the few products they're interested in, and then move on. And you can even joke like, I don't want to be here for 5 hours. You don't want to be here for 5 hours. So you can read. You have a catalog. Y'all can read. If you have a question about any of the other products, we'll go over that. So I'll talk a little bit about the loyal customer. Cheapest way to buy the products to become a loyal customer. You just buy one product a month for 3 months, and that's it. So, and you also, if you refer a friend, you get a free box wraps from the company if that's in your first month. So make sure that you let people know that. Take time to do that. I'll usually give them, when we sign them up, I'll give them their shared link in their eSuite, so that they can go ahead and send that to their friends if they've got people in mind. I also like to put it in a picture for them. So since Facebook blocks It Works websites, so they won't be able to actually share the link if they just do the link. So I'll do a cute picture for them and put that link on there, and then they can post it on Facebook or text it or send a message to friends if they know that they want to try the product. So, and that's unlimited. So if they refer 5 friends, they get 5 boxes of free wraps. So that's a little bit about the little customer thing. Keep it really simple. I always just tell them 1 product a month for 3 months. If you don't make it a big deal, the auto shipment, then they won't make it a big deal. So if you do have people that are hesitant to sign up as loyal customers because they're scared of the auto shipment, usually I know you'll get a few random people that want to buy retail, and that's fine. But usually if they're hesitant, it means you're hesitant and you're making it seem like a big deal. So I have maybe 1 out of 10 people that want to buy retail, and at that point I usually just mention them, you're going to pay $100 for a box of wraps, you might as well be a distributor then, and then you'll get 120 in free products, make a little money, so that's another thing too. If you have someone that's really digging in their heels about becoming a loyal customer and they want to buy that box for $100, tell them to at least become a distributor. Then they don't have to, there's no commitment, no 3-month commitment as a distributor. And if they have 4 friends that want to do it or that they know will try the product, at least they can get some free product for themselves, and it's not a total waste that they're paying $100 for a box of wraps. So that's a little bit about the little customer. I'll share about that, ask them if they have any questions, and then I'll flip to the business side. So easy thing that I do is I just say, even if nobody has said it, I'll just say, oh, I know some of you are interested in the business, so I'm just going to talk about it. I know you've been asking questions. even if they hadn't said anything, I'll just go ahead and do it, and just take a few minutes and share a little bit about the business. So I usually will talk maybe a few minutes about my story, what got me into it, maybe what it's done for me. If you're new and you don't have a big story yet, that's okay too. Just share either your upline story, share your future, what you're planning to do with this business. Because when I started, I didn't have a story. I also didn't know why I did it, except for I wanted to make some extra income. And so I was just honest with them. I was like, it just seemed fun. It's a great product, and I knew people wanted it, and I wanted to make some extra income, and that was it. And I signed people up that way. So some people feel like they have to have this big, amazing story and, from rags to riches to get started. And no, I mean, people don't care about that stuff. I mean, it's a cool stories to hear, but honestly, they just want to know why you did it, and you're friends with them. You already have that relationship. So just share your plans and just go from there and be confident in that. And if you want a bigger story, you feel like you need a bigger story, then share your upline story and let them know about what it's done for them. So that's a little bit about just taking time. Again, this is why it's important if you do talk to people that are interested in the business to ask them a few questions, see why they're intrigued, what's their passion, so that when I do talk about the business on the Party Pad, I know what things to touch on. So if they love giving back to people, they will care about people, that's like their passion is helping people, then really talk about helping people. Don't talk about all the big, there's a $20,000 bonus and all this stuff, because they don't care about that stuff. They care about helping people. They care about hearing about our nonprofit. That's what they care about. So this is why it's important to take a little bit of time to get to know your potentials and just kind of see where their heart is. And some of them, it's going to be all about the money. That's all they care about. They want to get a different career. They hate their job, or their husband lost their job, so they have to make this much money. So that's when you're going to really want to take time to talk about our bonuses, or it could be the debt-free thing. So again, just take time to get to know your people so you know what to talk about, and that's what's going to really trigger them to get ready to start this business. So, okay, I'll talk about the business. $99 to join. Tell them all the products, all the product and all the marketing material that they get with it. And right now we do have the bonus. So if they sign up and they go Ruby in there for 60 days, then they'll get the $500 one-time payout cash bonus. So Jeannie will talk a little bit about what that looks like, steps to success, getting that Ruby bonus. So I'll talk about that, let them know. I always tell them, you get your marketing material right away, plus you get a box of wraps. So you can turn around and sell those wraps. You can, for $25 a piece, make your $100 back right away. You get your website for free. After that, it's $20 a month. So I'll just share with that. If they don't like the website, they don't have to have a website. It just makes it really easy and simple for us. All the products get sent straight to the customer, so we don't have to carry inventory, which is awesome. So I'll share a little bit about that. And then let them know, you can tell them about the auto shipment. So in order to be commission qualified, you have to run an 80 BV auto shipment or have a personal BV under you 150. So I try not to go too much into that. We can talk about that later with them, but just kind of letting them know, like, order something for yourself or products that you're going to sell, or just make sure you have a couple of customer orders under you each month and you'll be commission qualified. So keep it really simple. I don't really go into much more of that. Remember that if they haven't asked the question, then don't answer it. So really, don't overdo it with information. I know some of us love information, but a lot of people don't, and they want it simple. They don't want to know a lot of stuff. They just want to know, okay, what do I need to do? What's the next thing? And that's it. They don't want more information, and that's what we just need to be careful when we are meeting with people, that we don't overshare. So, okay, we're going to talk about steps to success, but I'm going to let Jeannie take over and what that is and what that looks like. So our steps to success are how we build our business. It's how we get to Ruby. It's what we teach our people, and it's what people do. Black Diamond, our top money earners, do every single month. There's no special thing that they're doing. They just keep doing steps to success, and they do it over and over and over again. The problem is a lot of times we do our steps to success once and then we stop. And that's not how this business works. We need to repeat. So when you do it once, good job. Now you do it again. And you teach your team to do the same thing, and you repeat it again. So I think that's the thing that really kind of holds people back, is not doing that repeat. When we say blitz, wrap, repeat, we always share, we wrap people to get the wraps on them, let them see what it does, and then we repeat it and we do it again. So that's kind of the biggest thing that I have even guilty of too, of learning that we need to repeat it, and we need to teach our team to repeat as well. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and let Jeannie talk a little bit about what steps to success, I can't talk today, what that is, and go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So the steps to success, like Carolyn was saying, is what we repeat over and over and over again. So the first one is to join the party. And since everybody here is a distributor, you've already done the first step. The second step is to get your first 4 loyals in from your first 30 days. When you do that, you get 120 in free product, which is great. You can order something that you want to try. You can order products to sell, whatever you want to do. I ordered just different products for me to try for myself. For every 2 loyal customers that you sign, you get wrap rewards, which is you can buy a box of wraps for $25. Sell that box of wraps, $25 each, you make a $75 profit. So, you know, that's easy money to make there. Once your distributor that you signs their first 2 loyals, you get a $100 bonus. So that's pretty easy too. You have to work it. I mean, there's no, you know, easy answer to all of this. You do have to work it. And then the third step is to get your distributors. You get your first 3 distributors, and one of your distributors gets 2 distributors, everybody's volume's at 400, and you're a Ruby. And then it just takes 3 rubies to be a diamond. So that's what you have to do over and over and over again. I'm kind of stuck at Ruby right now, but I'm working it. I keep working it. Pretty much that's it. But it is a business, so you have to work it. You have to get out there and do wrap parties. You know, wrap, blitz, repeat. And blitzing, you know, can be going to Market Street and accosting customers with with your blitz cards. Or the other day I drove to Dunkin' Donuts, and you know, the girl saw the magnet on my car, and so boom, you know, there was a sale. So it's just, you know, different things like that. But you have to do what you're comfortable with. But you got to step outside your comfort zone too. Any questions? Carolyn, Tracy, April.
One last thing with the wrap rewards, remember that those wrap rewards, every 2 loyals from now until forever, you actually can get wrap rewards. So the 120 in free product is just in your first 30 days, and wrap rewards is unlimited. So you'll always be able to get wrap rewards, which is awesome for, you know, just a great upsell. Make some extra cash, because you know you're gonna wrap people from time to time $25. I know most people end up just becoming loyal customers, but it's nice to have those. And then we get our paid out, our $100 fast starts on distributors. We get paid weekly. So even though we get commission paid once a month, we'll get those bonuses once a week. So when you when they get their 2 loyals, then the following week you'll get the $100. So just so you guys know that and understand that. And then the Ruby, if they go Ruby in the first 60 days, so if they signed up today, this month would not count as their first 60 days. It'd be the first of the month, just so you guys know that. And because people get confused on that. So that's why we always say the 2nd of, let's say April 2nd, you know, everyone was posting that that's the best time to sign up. It is the best time because it's after the 1st, so it doesn't count as their first month, even though they're technically really getting a whole month. So they're actually getting 3 months to get their Ruby bonus instead of just 2 months. So that's another thing why it is great. If you've got someone that's about to sign up and it's like the 30th, you may tell them, okay, let me get your info, and I'll go ahead and put you in the 2nd, so you'll get a whole extra month to get that Ruby. So just let people know that. But the thing is, the Ruby, I don't know if they'll extend it, but right now it's till the end of the month. So they have to sign up before the end of the month to get that, be eligible for the $500 bonus. So, yeah, so that's what, just wanted to make sure you guys understood that with the wrap rewards. And actually the other thing too, since you guys have been in the business for a little bit, I'm going to talk about something a little bit more complex, but I think y'all will be fine. So when Jeannie said everyone has to be at 400, you yourself technically don't have to be at 400. Anyone that's in a title box, and since your title is Ruby, you'd be the title box. And I'm going to go in a little more detail. So you don't technically have to be at 400. You just have to be commission qualified. So either ADBV auto shipment or a PBV needs to be at 150. So your other 3 boxes, one of them's executive, so that's the title box. So she doesn't need to be at 400. Her PBV does not need to be at 400. She just needs to be commission qualified. So the 2 distributors that are under her, they do need to be at 400, and those are qualified legs. So they'll need to make sure that they're at 400. And then the other 2 boxes or 2 distributors on her top line need to be at 400 as well. So they need to be a qualified leg. So when we talk about qualified legs, that's what we mean. They need to be at 400. So that's why we do like the 400 club. We'll make a big deal about people getting to 400 because it helps your team. It helps your promotions. It also gets them obviously motivated to sign up more people than just 4 loyals. So, and then they'll be like well over 150. So if for some reason they can't run an auto ship or something like that, you know for sure they're going to get paid. Because there's definitely people, you know, have signed up that they're really struggling and they really can't have that ADBV, and that's fine. I'm like, that's fine. Like, go get your loyals, because then you don't have to worry about it, and you don't have to stress about that order, and you get paid every month. So, and then all you have to worry about is your $20 website. So I don't always say that, but definitely there's some people that you guys know that you have on your team that really can't afford to have that ADBV, and that's fine. Just encourage them. This is why you always sign up for loyals each month. I like to give my loyals away because I'd rather help motivate someone, but you don't have to do that. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But also, just so you know, you can move loyals and you can move distributors under people. You have 24 hours to do it. So I like to move my loyals because I have an ADBV auto shipment and I'm fine, and I also have well over 150. So I move mine because I'd rather motivate someone else, and I'd rather get my $100 faster. So, but it's up to you guys. So that's just something we encourage. And like I said, if you got a new person, that's going to motivate them, and that's going to get them their free product a lot quicker. So to me, it's worth moving people, but that's what we have been taught. That's what I teach. But again, if you don't feel comfortable moving people under other people, that's fine. No pressure. That's totally up to you, and it's your business. So anyway, sorry, that was a little more than I was going to share. All right, Tracy's going to talk a little bit about Facebook 101, and then I'll finish with messaging people and talking to people, and then if anyone has questions after that, we can do kind of Q&A after that. So
awesome.
Hey, Carolyn, there's one thing that I did learn with one of my distributors is you can split up your auto shipments. She does an auto shipment on the 1st and an auto shipment on the 15th. So that coincides with pay periods, but she's got her total ADBV. So if that's ever an issue, that's something that that's an option too for your distributors.
I didn't know that.
Just split that up.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really cool to find that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. I didn't know that.
Cool. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Well, I just had one thing to add to what Carolyn was talking about all the time. Not all this time, but whenever you do sign up a distributor, what I've started doing is challenging them to get their first 4 loyals in their first 72 hours. And I have a little special gift for them just to get it going, because that way they're not waiting for that box and they don't get like bogged down. So as soon as, that gets them getting their training and all that kind of stuff. So that's just like something that I learned from somebody else, and I like that. All right, so social media. I don't know if you guys are doing much like Facebook or Instagram or things like that. I honestly don't do Twitter, but I can tell you what I've learned from other people, and it's really helped me build my business. my people are not here in Lubbock so much. They're everywhere else. So I have a different sort of network with singing people or design people all over the place. So I decided that was going to be something I would add to, and it's really been nice. So I learned about, you've probably heard about the 3-3-3 rule of posting every day. If you can do that, you decide what your schedule looks like. How many hours can you put into this every week? And then if you need to do it 3-3-3, do 2-2-2 or whatever. So what these numbers mean are you do a personal post, something about just you. I got the cutest kids, or something like that. And you do a business post about how much you love this and what it's doing for you. I just paid my gas because I sold a box of wraps, something like that. And the other thing is a product post, something that is about you. So the best ways to post are not necessarily putting a pretty flashy little ad, like don't be an infomercial. You really get better results if you have your face in it, your own face, because people, quite frankly, care about you and what you're doing. We're all nosy. We love this stuff. And especially if you start doing this every day, you've got a story going and people will follow you. You keep it positive. Don't put your dirty laundry on Facebook. In fact, on mine, at the top, I have a little thing that says my highlight reel. It's just, that allows me, everything looks rosy all the time. Even if it's not, that's okay. So if you would do those 3 things and do it like 3 times a day, you kind of start looking when you get the most reaction to things. So I like to do mine like in the first of the morning, so people are up before they go to work, or if they're not, if they're waking up later, then they see that. And I like to do one around lunchtime. I tend to get the best, that kind of thing, and then one later at night. But you'll see, it's your posse, so everybody's kind of different, and you'll see that you have trends. One thing that is really important, and it has to do with algorithms and things like that, is don't see a post and hit share. That really doesn't get you shown up in everybody's newsfeed, as well as if you can save their picture if you like it, or if it's something funny, you can save it and then post it yourself, and then make a story about it. Even if you copy and paste what another distributor has said, and it was great, when that starts being repeatedly put on Facebook, it doesn't show up as well. So start really kind of giving it a little of yourself, actually, a lot of yourself. Let's see. What's something else? Always tell a story as much as you can. Something I got at conference was a good way to do it is, in the same post, you could do something like, I remember when I couldn't pay for groceries, and now I can do it because da-da-da-da. I can't wait until the future when I am eating Cheerios from my yacht or whatever your dream is. But just like use, your past, your present, and your future. That's just like one way that's a storyline of when you're just kind of, sometimes it seems like you do this enough and it can almost feel stale. But if you don't feel like you've got anything interesting going on to personal posts, guess what? That is like that's the biggest gift to you, to realize that, because then you're going to make up your mind and start really going out there, really looking around, and make it your thing to find the things around you. In fact, you'll find your niche. I like to, in the mornings, I like to put a positive something. And I've been doing that for a couple of years. If nothing else, for myself or friends, if I know something that's going on, that's what I do. And lo and behold, I didn't realize that a lot of people have told me over this past year that I would see occasionally, once or twice a year, and they go, oh my gosh, I love your posts. I'm like, really? And they say, yeah, it's one of the first things I do is I like to get up and see what you're posting about, because it really affects me. I'm like, seriously, I had no idea. So some people are really good at funny. So just be you, learn what you are all about. What else am I missing? I'm missing so much, because the social media is kind of my thing. I love it, actually. Jeannie or Carolyn, do you have anything that I'm...
No, I think that was good because otherwise will overload people. The other thing is when you make a post, think about one person that you're talking to. So that will keep you from kind of like just doing too basic or too much of a ad. So I always try to think of like one or two people that I'm speaking or thinking of when I make that post, with the business or about the product. So one last thing I'm going to go really quick because we're about to lose it. It's about to end, but what I can do is do a group message, and if you guys have questions, but I'll be quick, and hopefully we can still fit it in. So one last thing with messaging people. So make sure that you are asking, first of all, because you're not going to sign up a distributor unless you ask. So a lot of times I think people get stressed and they get overwhelmed with messaging people, and they don't know what to say, so they don't say anything. So the first thing is you got to start messaging people. And if you're not getting good feedback, then you probably need to change things up. So what I like to do is tell people to read through. If you see ifs or let me know, remove those, because especially, I hate when people do this. Okay, I did it too. So this is just when you are messaging people, don't ever say, let me know. It is the worst thing that you can do to kill the conversation, because they're not going to let you know because they're going to forget or something's going to happen. So make sure that you're asking questions, make sure it's short so that there's definitely like a ping pong conversation back and forth. So even if they say, oh yeah, send me some information, I don't just send them a bunch of information. I ask questions first. I say, I'm just assuming this is about the business, because this is usually when I'm cold messaging, it's about the business. And then they might turn into a loyal customer, but I really initially, because it's a gift. When I'm messaging people, I talk about the business first. I don't just message them and say, hey, you want to try some products? Because to me, that's very salesy. But if I'm messaging them about the business, it's a gift. So I will, when they're like, yeah, send me more info, then I'll say, great. Have you ever done anything like this before? Or what have you used with It Works before? Or have you heard about the products before? Or, ask questions, kind of see where they're at. So I know what to talk about, what's next. So I like to ask questions, even more questions, not just send them a bunch of information and then say, okay, get back to me. Worst thing you can do. Also realize that people usually have to see something 6 or 7 times. So if they just saw it once and maybe said, oh, not right now, that doesn't mean never, ever, ever, ever talk to them again. Because there's been plenty of people that told me no or ignored me the first few times are now on my team and doing this business with me. So just think about that. Also, I will definitely kind of give them a little time if they're like, okay, let me think about it. And I've kind of had that conversation back and forth. Then I'll give them a day or two, and if I haven't heard from them, then I'll follow back up with them. Ask them, hey, what big questions do you have for me? Or what are some things that you're concerned about? Kind of talk it through it with them, because sometimes it's as simple as just reminding them, hey, I'm going to do this with you, and I'm going to take care of you and help you. Some of it is just maybe they're concerned about the auto shipment, or I don't know. It's always a little something, or I just don't think I'll be good at it. And I've had plenty of people that said, I'm not a salesperson, and that's why I don't think I can do this. And so we just had to talk through that. And now they're doing this business, and they're amazing at it. I can think of one girl actually right now, and she is like, I'm talking to this friend of mine, and she's saying exactly what I said. And I'm like, oh, well, then tell her that. Say, hey, I was concerned about that too. But I know that we don't want salespeople. We want people that care and they're genuine, and you're perfect for it. And then also when I'm messaging people, I like to ask them, talk about why I think they'll be amazing at it. I like to compliment them, take time in complimenting them, and then share a little bit what this business has done for you. Something maybe that sets It Works apart, something like that too. I know I've shared some templates with you guys, but if you are stuck or feeling stuck, let's work with you. So message me, message your upline. I do screenshots. I love doing screenshots with people, just spending like 30 minutes with you and just doing screenshots back and forth and helping you kind of walk through what should you say next, what needs to be asked. But also I can't do that if you're not asking people. So that's the other thing. One message here and there is just not going to work. You're going to have to be messaging and actually sharing, talking, because they can't say yes without you talking to them. And you will be surprised. There are so many people I thought will never do this business, but I asked, and I'm so glad I did because they're in my business now. I had one girl, I had barely any really connection with her, but I had from high school. I hadn't, really talked to her since then, but I just kept thinking about her. I messaged her and she's on this team now, and so I'm glad that I got over myself and I messaged her because this is actually exactly what she needed, and she didn't even realize this was what she needed. So think about that too, and remember that this is a gift. And so when you see it like that, then you can't help but share it. And it's kind of at this point of how dare I not share it, because there are so many people that need this business that are on my Facebook feed that all they need is just a message from me sharing this with them. So, sorry, I think I'm going to get kicked off. So, I guess I'll see if I can get one question in before we get kicked off. If anyone has any questions or things that you're struggling with. Otherwise, you can just message me and I'll answer those questions. So we have less than a minute. Is there anybody? You can unmute yourself now if you need.